Appreciate you guys being here. It was a good ending of spring. I thought we had a good spring for 15 days. As I've talked about every week, the progression of the team, we looked at being able to come out and take each week as a singular week and improve that week, and then look back on it and see what we did well, what we've got to continue to improve on. And I think over the course of the entire spring, we made improvements as a football team. But really, to make any improvements as a team, and I say it all the time, that football is the ultimate team game. But players need to understand that they have to improve individually first. They have to show individual improvement. Coaches have to show the individual improvement to them so that they know that they're progressing. That has to happen before a position can improve, a side of the ball can improve, and then collectively as a football team we improve. So I think they took that challenge, and for 15 days of practice, the days in between were with meetings, walkthroughs, whatnot, they took those challenges and they did that. Now that being said, we have a long way to go before we kick off in August in Dublin, Ireland. But I think we're on the right track. I think we have a chance to be a good football team this year. That's not saying we are right now, but that's why this is spring, and that's why we have spring practice. So it was good to get out there today. Really appreciate the fans that came out. That was outstanding. I thought the administration and the marketing department and did a really good job of creating a good environment to come to a football game, a spring football game in. We came out of the game injury-free, which is good. We had, as everyone knows, Jackson, the first scrimmage, tore his ACL. But other than that, we have had a very productive scrimmage and stayed very healthy. The guys that have had nicks and bumps and bruises and things that happen in football, credit to the athletic training staff for getting those guys back and able to participate and be out there today. I thought the guys had fun out there. I thought it was a fun environment, but they had fun, but also went out and worked. They knew they had to work. They knew this was one more opportunity to improve as a football team. And they went out and they had a very competitive scrimmage. So everyone played, which that's always a bonus to make sure we have everyone on the football team play in the spring scrimmage. People can see them, they can enjoy it. Just the enjoyment of being out in Bobby Dodd and being on the field is a really is an experience that whether it's a scrimmage or whether it's a game play, and some of those guys that work so hard for us, they're going to remember that for the rest of their lives that might not have a chance to get into a game at some point. Captains for the game, we took 4 walk-ons and that had outstanding springs for us. And then I think you saw another couple of those guys show up today doing some really good things on the field. So thought our progress showed. It was good to see the young quarterbacks all get in there and be able to get some things done, operating. And really after the first series, we started mixing and matching and putting different guys in different spots. And it was hard at sometimes to tell what was Swarm and what was Reckham from the original rosters based on getting guys in there that we needed to see play. So, all in all, I thought it was a good spring. I'm pleased with our progression right now, but that being said, I understand we have a long way to go to be a football team that we want to be this fall. So with that, we'll open with any questions.
Kelly.
How fun is it to see a guy like Chris Elko that is so selfless come out and have a day like that?
It was, if I had to guess the first question of any player on the team, I would have guaranteed everybody it was going to be about Chris Elko. So, man, what an outstanding day he had. But people have been at practice every day and seen practice. That it's not surprising. He's a guy that's come in going into his second year now, and has really progressed as a football player. He was an outstanding high school football player, and we're really lucky to have him here. But just to see him go out there and have a day like that and have, that doesn't always happen where that many balls go your way and just based on coverage or whatnot. Now on the flip side, the guys that are guarding them, we've got to be able to, keep coverage tight. And the way I look at it, it doesn't matter if the first team or the third team's out there. Everyone's coached the same standard. The same expectation is expected out of everyone that's out there. So we got some. Whenever something good happens on one side, it means you got to clean up something on the other. So, but I was happy for Chris.
Coach, not only Elko, but Bailey Stockton and Zion Taylor also have big games at the wide receiver position. Just talk about the loaded wide receiver room that you guys have with veterans all the way down to your younger guys.
Yeah, gosh. Looking at it right now, Abdul had 5 for 47. Bailey had 3 for 93. Zion, 3 for 71 and a touchdown. May or may not have been a little OPI on 1 or 2 of those out there. I don't know what the officials were looking at out there. So, other side, Malik, Elko, 4 for 136. Holy cow. Godey, Ryland had 3 for 25. Leo, you can see Leo back out there for sure. Yeah, and just the tight ends, the wide receivers. It's really good to have those guys. It's good to have the talent, but it's good the way that it's stacked by class too. As far as upperclassmen, middle time guys, and then those guys that are new to the team. So that means we should have a bright future there. I think Trent's done an outstanding job of coaching those guys up this spring, really on the finer points of playing that position, and I think it showed today.
Coach, year 2 for you, second spring game. Of course, you have a quarterback battle last year. How much different is it this year coming into this spring game and what you've learned from this team?
Well, every team's different. Every team's new in January. I don't believe in continuation of any type of success or really failure. I mean, it's up to that team to establish its identity, and really that starts in the locker room. It's up to that the leaders on that team to emerge as leaders and build that team into what it's going to be for the season. So, really, there's no difference than last year. Same preparation, same attention to detail that we have to have as coaches and as a staff. So really, there's no different in year 1 and year 2 when it comes to the organization and the operation of a spring football game.
Coach, Chris Elko aside, can you tell us maybe some of the other players that kind of stood out to you in terms of their improvement and kind of the steps they took during the course of spring?
Yeah, gosh, I mean, I don't have a roster in front of me, so I wouldn't be doing I don't want to do a disservice to anyone that did. But we had some young guys that just got here in January, some high school. Really should be going to prom tonight, most of them. But now some of them might actually be leaving here right now to go to prom. I don't know that, but I think we have 11 of them that 8, 9, 11, something like that out there. So it was good to see those guys. I mean, Jamison Riggs, he went with the ones majority of the spring after Corey rolled his ankle up in the second week, and a lot of valuable reps. As good as you think freshmen are that come in on that first week and that second week, then as that installation starts to build and the multiples start to increase on the other side of the football, whether it's offense or defense, that's when you really start to see that they're freshmen. So to have a spring game to let those guys go out and play freely with not a lot of calls on either side of the football, a pretty generic, simple game plan on both sides. It was good to see all those young guys. Kerry got out. Kerry has had a really good spring. I thought the defense did a nice job of bottling up the run for the majority of the time out there today. Then trying to think who else. I mean, I saw Tate Seymour going into his second year. I saw him flash on a couple of things. And it's not even it's not all freshmen. I mean, Warren Burrell, I think today showed why I've been so excited about him all spring, and just the energy he brings on the field and the playmaking ability and the tight coverage he can play when he's in the game. Amari is another one who's been here for a couple of years but is really starting to emerge as a guy on this team. It was Tana, Harrison Moore on the offensive line, Jordan Boyd. A lot of those. I mean, all those guys got a lot of reps today, and they did a lot in the springtime. So, that's the name of the game in college football is to constantly be working to build the depth of your football team, and to steal a note out of the last place I was at before here and I can talk about him now. He's retired, so I can. But with Coach Saban, it's you build your roster and constantly want to build that roster from the bottom up, and to improve that part of your football team. And as you improve the competition in that part of the football team, you continue to improve the competition all around. So I think we saw that today with the depth we have over that we're starting to build. I say we have, and we're a long way away from being where we want to be. But I think you're starting to see that depth show itself.
Coach, know it's a spring game, but on the sideline, Haynes was very animated, sending in signals. He even talked about how he hated to get out the game, but yet still he was so animated and giving signals and trying to be involved. To see that from your quarterback, in a spring game, can you talk about that leadership?
Yeah, I mean he's as good of a leader as I've been around on the football field, and I don't say that lightly. I really don't, man. He's he's outstanding all the way around when it comes to that. The relationships he has with the different guys on the football team, it doesn't matter what position, what background, what side of the ball. Haynes is he's a voice that's heard by everyone, and that's him. I would expect no different from him, and it rubs off on others. I mean, Jamal Haynes, he ran out on the field twice and begged me to put him back in. Malik was wanting to go all day. I mean, that's just same with Eric. I mean, that's just the way they are, and that's when you're starting to get going in the right direction with the football team.
When you were the interim coach, you had at one point basically Scotch tape and Band-Aids holding your quarterback room together. Now you have two guys who could start games and two really exciting young guys and even some walk-ons that are impressive. Can you talk about the growth of that room and what you're seeing there?
Yeah. First off, I can barely remember yesterday, much less 2 years ago. So why'd you have to – I mean, you did bring up some things there. Wow. We did. Scotch tape. It was more like duct tape and Gorilla Glue, like keeping things together. It's a credit to the system. It's a credit to the recruiting. It's a credit to the evaluation that takes place, and it shows up the most obviously at quarterback. Everyone, that's the position everyone sees. But the evaluation that we take at every position in recruiting is really important. It's a credit to the offensive scheme that Buster has in that it's a quarterback driven, but also allows every position to play to its strengths. The development of the quarterback coach. I've said it before. I think Chris does an outstanding job of evaluating those guys, bringing in the right guys, not just as players, but also the right guys that fit Georgia Tech. That's a big thing for us. That complement each other and fit the football team. So all around, we've got to continue to do that and continue to do that with all positions.
We saw Burr with a make from 62. Now I know this depends on the conditions of the day of that game, but
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Burr, he making from 62. I know the range depends on the day and the conditions, but how far would you trust him to attempt from?
62. Now let me ask y'all this: do y'all really think I would have done that in the first game of the season, not knowing? Probably so, because I got a lot of confidence in that guy. I would. I mean, everyone was excited, but no one was surprised. I mean, we see him do it every day. And if you'll notice, I called the punt team out there, and then I saw him look at me from the sideline. He was just staring at me. He's new number 33. Get it? Threes. He just staring at me. And I told him, waved him out, and he goes, "Yeah, I can." All right, let's go. Field goal, timeout, field goal. And then the other one was probably more challenging. I don't know what the distance was on the other one. 59. Yeah, 60 in there. But the way the wind was blowing at the time and where it was offset on the hash, the wind blowing from behind, but also the way it does in our stadium all the time, that was a lot more of a challenging kick. And he almost put the exact right on, English on it to get it to go in. He was pretty mad about that one. But no, he's got a strong leg. He's really good. He's really good. I'll say this: he's a really good football player. And that's what he is. He's a football player.
Coach Key, if you would talk to us about Jamie Felix's day, please.
Yeah. 2 carries, 20 yards. Yeah. So he had a long of 15 on a little flip play out on the perimeter. So, like I said, everyone was able to get in and play and show what they can do. And he had one explosive and, the other one 5-yard gain. So, 10-yard average. So, no, it's a talented running back room, right? And the guys have to come to work every day to be able to, to get in the picture. So nothing is deserved here. Everything's earned, and you go out every day and you earn the reps and you earn the carries that you get, you earn the touches you get, you earn the reps, whether it's O-line, D-line, running back, receiver, it doesn't matter. So.
Back in the corner.
Kind of going off the running back room, what's it like to have Jamal Haynes, a guy, 1,000-yard rusher last year, kind of a luxury to go into 2024 with a guy who's already had a lot of experience in big games?
Yeah, I mean, experience. There's nothing that you can't substitute anything for experience. But he had some good runs early on. No different than he has all spring. No different than he has last year. He's continued to improve, and I think there were 2 runs he had that he didn't like. He came out and asked me, he's like, hey, was I doing such and such or such and such? I mean, he's constantly working to critique himself and get better off of every play. As I told you already, he wasn't happy when I set him down out there. He's fun to be around. He is. He's fun to have on the team. I'm glad we have him, and he's continuing to develop, and I'm excited for what he's going to be this year. But we also had a couple balls on the ground at the running back position. We can't do that, and I don't care if the ground causes the fumble or not. Right, the ball ends up out of your hand, so we can't leave anything for chance. And those are the things we have to work on really hard, and we have to be ultra critical of this entire spring, not just the spring game today.
Something in the back.
Coach, obviously a new defensive staff this year. What did you kind of see today from your defense that you liked or what you didn't like?
Yeah, I liked the fact that even early on in the game, the first group was running to the football. The line of scrimmage was stalemated. The line of scrimmage was flat walled, which is what we want to see. We've got first group of guys. We've got some good players. We've got to continue to develop the depth on our defense. That's the thing, and that's what we wanted to see today. We wanted to see a lot of those guys get in there that had not gotten as many reps before. But that's a main focus we have moving forward, that we have to develop the depth, because you might have 11 guys, 11 starters that are good players. But on defense, you've got to have 25, 30 guys that can go in there. I mean, you want to play 5 or 6 defensive tackles. You want to play 4 or 5 defensive ends. You want to play 3 to 4 linebackers. And then the value those guys bring on special teams. So that's a major emphasis we have moving forward of being able to increase that depth on that defensive side of the football.
Okay. Anything else? Chad?
What's your challenge to these guys for the next couple months before they come back this summer?
I mean, there's too many to even list, but to walk in and challenge a team and make a big deal about it and a big celebration and have a team meeting and stand in front of them and say, I'm going to put a challenge. Every day is a challenge, right? And we truly want to live every day as a day that we work to get better. Live that day a day in its own. Not look forward, not look back. Be where your feet are and work to get better. And that was what we did this spring. That's the way we want to work every single day. Monday, when I walk in there, the biggest challenge is going to be to make sure that we have finals coming up. All right, they get their bodies rested up, but most importantly, that we go out and we're better than we were the semester before academically. We're in a strong place right now, and we've got to continue to work and make sure we finish strong academically, and then they'll come back and be ready to start up in the summer program.
Cool.
You didn't have 2 of your primary offensive linemen for most of spring with Corey getting hurt, and then Keelan obviously recovering from his foot thing. Just how, I guess, satisfying is it for you to see how the line is played without 2 starters and developing that depth for the future, and finally having maybe a full rotation of guys who can play in a game comfortably? Yeah,
I mean, in a perfect world, you're going to play 5 guys, and that's why you have success is when you do have some continuity in that group. But we what were we talking about?
O-line, yeah.
Guys, whoever that is, please turn it off.
All right, so I was pleased with the line. Now I'm not. We've got a ways to go now. I mean, we're being very generous on some of those sacks or those pass rushes that could have been sacks out there. I mean, there were several where I think they got some heat on the quarterback. The nature of our offense, we get the ball out quick. But there were times that pocket was collapsing, pretty strongly. We've got to continue to get bigger and stronger in the weight room. We've got to continue to work on our fundamentals and technique. And like I said, the expectation is the same with the third group as is the first group. But we've got to be able to get to a point where you'd love to have 10 guys that you're confident to go in and play. And I think we're increasing that depth. They're very young. There's only so many reps between now and the time they're going to end up getting in the game for the first time. just because you're talented doesn't mean you're ready to play. And we have a lot of time between now and the first game, but it ain't gonna seem like a lot of time at all. And every rep, every day, every opportunity they get to get better, we have to do that in the weight room, on the field. It doesn't matter, but it's good to be able to have a scrimmage like this and not have to play a tight end at offensive line. Yes.
Last one right here.
Coach, you talked very highly, obviously, of your freshman quarterbacks out of spring practice. How would you just rate the performance today? Graham Knowles, obviously Aaron Follow. What do you kind of assess for their performance?
They were, Philo. Philo was 6'9" for 120 and 2 touchdowns. Graham Haynes was 11. Zach Pye. Hey, look, first off, we all talk about Haynes, and rightfully so. And we're talking about these young guys. But let's make sure we talk about Zach Pyron and what he did out there today. He did an absolutely outstanding job of leading that group. And when he was running with the first group, he did a really good job. And he finished 8 of 14 for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, so we can talk about all the young guys. And look, they deserve it. They did a good job today. But let's don't get lost in the shuffle. Zach Pyron and what he does, what he means to this football team. And had some fun with him out on the field today after some of the plays he made. That one trip down to the red area, you could tell we were trying to get the ball to Leo. It was like he threw the one ball off the back shoulder, and Leo just stared. It was a death stare, just staring right at Zach. And Zach was like, "I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you." And we got him one down there. So, but those young guys, I think it was good just to see him out there leading the team, at that position, getting the calls, being able to execute the play. It was good to see. But like all freshmen, it's ups and downs, ups and downs. What the public sees in one day is not necessarily what happens all the time. So I'm not saying they've been bad at all, but they're freshman quarterbacks, and quarterback's the hardest position to play in all of sports. Right? It's hard from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from a pressure standpoint, from a mental toughness standpoint. So it was good to see him in a game atmosphere to get out there and make plays. It really was.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks. Go Jackets.